Greetings, all. Greetings, greetings, greetings. You can see, oh, another beautiful day. Clear blue sky. Sunny. Except on the mountain. The clouds are settling in like a mist. Yep, there's a mist. Just giving a little bit of obscurity to the mountain. Something similar to the beautiful land of Africa. And there's this mist hanging over it, obscuring the true beauty and relevance of the country and its people. I know you technical buffs gonna say, hey, it's not a country, it's a continent. But see, when you're building a house, you don't say, I'm building a room. You say, I'm building a house. You don't say, I'm building a wall or a floor or a roof or a column. You say, I'm building a house. And when you show somebody the unfinished house, 10%, you say, this is my house. Anyway, let me read you something today. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature now and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these, liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness. It used to say property, but that got changed. Anyway, if you ask every African, where did that come from? Probably what? Maybe, I don't know, 5,000 would know. If you ask every African around the world, I don't know, maybe 1,000,000. And of them, maybe 90% be in the US. That was taken from the US Constitution. It's a declaration that we are independent. Follow that with a war now that overthrew British rule in America. You hear what I'm saying? Those words were the beginning of a war against Britain for independence. One of modern day's greatest coups d'etats, as the president of Nigeria called it, coups. The brother said there will be no more coups in Africa. We don't want coups in Africa. But those words set a people free to become what they became today. America. In Africa, you got people who are enslaving their brothers. And there are some who are assisting them in doing it. Example, all the coups d'etats that took place over the last 3 years, trying to extricate the poor. I mean, Burkina Faso, where 75% of the people don't have a light bulb in their house. Kenya, this is always being praised by Western powers, Uganda, Tanzania. Even some people in the city don't have power to their houses. Children can't, after a certain time of night, time for bed, you can't do homework. And the people of Burkina Faso, the people of Niger decided, you know what, we don't want this anymore. We want a more equitable distribution of the wealth of the country. And you have these people in Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Senegal. They have decided that these people in their own country are not free to decide the form of government that they want, and to take out the people who were destroying them and their children's lives. They want to protect that one man, that one family who is stealing all the resources from the country. Not only stealing the resources, but borrowing money from Western countries at exorbitant interest rates. And when that money lands on the soil of Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Senegal, Togo, every country that it lands in, those people who are presidents in these countries and a part of ECOWAS the money disappear, but it still has to be repaid by the poor people of those countries. The money reappears back in the country from which it was borrowed and into the washing machines in London Square Mile, New York Square Mile, France's Square Mile, Spain Square Mile. And if you guys don't understand what I mean by Spain Square Mile, every Western country has a city within the country that is not a part of the country. Are you listening to me? Washington, D.C. is in the state of Maryland. But Washington, D.C. is a separate country within America. So is London Square Mile. Don't just believe me. Go check this out for yourself. Go check it for yourself. It's like the Vatican. It's not a part of, it's in Italy, but it's a separate country. I bet you Catholics didn't know that. When I say Catholics, I'm talking about the African type. And that's not all you don't know about your religion, but we're not talking about your religion today. We're talking about we don't want any more coups in Africa. You cannot take out the wicked and put in somebody who is going to raise you up. If America didn't take out Britain, do you think America would be at the status that it has today? Once your forefathers, the same rulers we have today, the same governors, because it's passed on, the chiefs and the governors and whatever, kings in Africa, it's passed on from generation to generation. 99% of the time, there are laws in their places that says if you were a slave, you cannot become the king or the governor or the chief. And then they fought around each other and enslaved each other so that there's a slave somewhere in the lineage of all the other people except for the chiefs and kings. So they maintain the status quo up to today. Those were the ones who sold the forefathers of the people who ended up slaves in America and made America great. Their labor. And if you don't believe me, look at all the inventions that went to make America great. And these poor, uneducated in the English language people that Africans sold got rid of the young men that was supposed to raise up Africa, sent them to a place to raise up another man's land. The same thing they're doing today. And then they don't want anybody to take out these old wicked governors, kings, princes, chiefs. Now they call themselves presidents. well, not they call themselves, they were given that name. They were given it by the French and the Spanish and the British and the American. And they feel proud of something they were given. But now they have returned to the old ways, kept up the old ways of enslaving, not selling the slaves anymore, but keeping them, some in Africa, and then shipping the rest over to Europe and America too. It's a growing population of Africans in South America now, in the Caribbean. So the slave trade is still going on, run from Africa now, instead of London. Well, let's run from London and everywhere else, but the people are not, they're not sending ships to Africa to get the people. The presidents are putting them on airplanes and boats going across the Mediterranean and the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. No more coups. You're not allowed to free yourself. Even to talk about what you want to do, as we see in Ghana a few days ago, when our elders try to meet with the young, teach them about the past so they won't repeat it. And these old, wicked people canceled the meeting. To the youth of Africa, my young brothers, my children, it is time to stand up. We cannot allow the slavery that was foisted upon us to keep us from rising up, to be maintained. We have to get rid of those who are keeping the system in place. You have to get rid of them. If they leave voluntarily, let them keep what they have. If they don't leave voluntarily, take everything. That's what America do. You break the law, you get charged, and you pay a penalty, you pay a fine. You have to charge them to court, prosecute them, and fine them. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you are. Peace. Stay safe.